Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. Supposedly, the reason why Germany doesn't want to give Ukraine the Taurus long-range missile systems. I said there could be two. One, the Ukrainians might turn around and use it on Berlin, and the other one, the Ukrainians will use it on Moscow or something where they're not supposed to. And I said, even though the Ukrainians will say a pinky promise that we're not going to use it on Russian territory, probably they will, and then what? Too late. The Russians will bombard Berlin or something. So we have the Telegraph here stating the exact thing, but not Moscow, but something else. Why? Because the Germans don't trust Zelensky and the bunch. Why? Guess what? You shouldn't trust anybody, especially giving him this kind of weapon. Germany refusing to send Taurus missiles to Ukraine for fear of Crimea bridge attack. I think that if these guys being the Ukrainians, use the Taurus missiles to destroy the Crimean bridge, which I think by the end of this war will be, if these guys really try again, they will do it, and they will claim it was our missiles. I have a few maps here ready. If they will do that, I think the Russians will hit Berlin. There's no way around it, because probably behind the scenes, Putin told them clear, my boy, if these guys, your idiots use Taurus to hit the bridge, we gonna hit you. Do svidania, arrivederci, never see you again, adios or something. Now, the Taurus missiles go to up to 500 kilometers. Storm, Shadow, and Scalp, I think they go to about 300 kilometers. And I have a few maps here to figure out why aren't the Ukrainians using those to hit the Kerch bridge yet. And it seems like they're almost at the limit. But let's see this article first, and I'm going to go to the maps. I got 3 maps. Olaf Scholz is refusing to send Ukraine powerful Taurus cruise missiles, Germany's equivalent to Britain's Storm Shadows, out of fear that they will be used to attack the Kerch bridge. It's not equivalent because one goes to 300 kilometers and the other one goes to 500 kilometers. It's a little bit of almost double the difference. The German Chancellor is resisting pressure from Britain and Ukraine to deliver the missiles, and the United States and other weasels. To German newspaper Bild reported, despite reassurances from London that they will only be fired at targets approved by Berlin. I guess the Germans don't want to bite that hot bullet. Mr. Scholz is particularly concerned that Kiev would use Taurus missiles, which have a range of 310 miles, to target the Kerch bridge. 300, it's about 500, they said. Kerch bridge linking, if we do it like this, it's about 400, almost 500. To target the Kerch bridge, German leaders have previously said in interviews that delivering the missile could be too escalatory in terms of German-Russian tensions, though they did not explicitly rule out the move. Kiev in particular eager to acquire Taurus missiles because they have a longer range than Storm Shadows and French Scalps, which have already been delivered to Ukraine. Their range, which is about 30% greater than the French and British counterparts, will allow pilots to fire missiles from a safer distance at targets or potentially avoid Russian air defense systems. So yeah, destroy that and they're gonna punch you in the face. So let me look. Yeah. That's how they laugh. I make the sound here. Like a weasel. Jesus Christ, these guys are in charge of us! Can you believe this? Oh man. Anyway, these guys are just right here. They start to shame them. By canceling the Taurus delivery, Scholz confirms the total failure. Total failure. How in the fuck is total failure? These guys gave you everything but their wives. And because they didn't give you their wives, there's total failure. Someone said this, there's a group of people among us who are like this. Hey, why don't you help me? And you say, hey, Gigi, I helped you a month ago, last week, yesterday. Yeah, but you didn't help me today. There's nothing. So they forget everything you did for them. You didn't help them now. It's total failure. How is this total failure? As the self-proclaimed leading nation for... My God, who said this, mother? Center-right CDU. This is a weasel. Now listen to this. By canceling the Taurus delivery, Scholz confirms the total failure of Germany as a self-proclaimed leading nation for European security. Is under the US occupation. What are you talking about? And offers our partners such as Great Britain and France partners who are already delivering cruise missiles, said Rodrich Kiesewetter, a member of the center-right CDU party and former German army officer. So this is... What are you talking about? Total failure is a... Anyway, let's go to the... how do you call it? The maps. The first map. I choose this map because it has the scale right here, the distance. So here's the Kerch Bridge right here. And this is where this guy, the closest that might be, in Kherson. So this is a straight line. Is it about 300 kilometers? It's almost 300 kilometers. I would say straight line, almost 300. So they can't really muster that. The problem is they need more, so they cannot be hit by the Russians. But those airplanes go high in the air, right? So they, by releasing it, is going to increase the distance by gliding. So it's not, probably the distance is from here to here. They didn't say the altitude. Now if the airplane goes a higher altitude, obviously it's going to glide, it's going to get further. But I don't know how that works. By this, it should work. So if I climb high enough and I release it, it should go much further than a 300, a storm shadow or something. But it's other probably implications, connections, but the connections is with a satellite controlled from down. Anyway, so it's about 300, so that's probably not reliable. Definitely in the Taurus 500 range. Let's go to the next one. I have this one, it's the same thing. I have from here to here is 200 miles. I'm sorry, this is the best I could find here. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger and put together all this together in there. All right, so this is 200 miles, that's 300 kilometers. Again, from here to here, I think it's a little bit more than 300. And I'm going to go to this map so you can see where that is on how they control it. So here's the control. This is the Dnieper River. So this is what the Russians control. This is what the Ukrainians control. Here is the Kerch Bridge right here. So these guys, if we will just launch it, let's say from here, from the Dnieper River, probably we could get about or around that area. But you have to go up in the sky. These guys are going to hit you. Now you have to do it probably from this area between the Nikolaev and Odessa, I would say. Or maybe why don't you go around here, around in the south? Why don't you go in the south and you release it from here, south of Sevastopol? Oh, they intercept you. Could be. So nevertheless, this is the three maps that I have ready. I think the Germans were warned. We're going to fuck you up if that's going to happen, and I think it will happen one way or another. Nothing is perfect, and if you overwhelm the air defense systems, you will be able to drop something straight on it that will damage the whole thing. If one missile, one big good missile, hits that bridge, I think it destroys it. If it hits it right. Well, that's one of the reasons. I think the other one is the Ukrainians could change their mind, and as I said before, they could possibly from the western side of Ukraine can hit Berlin, but cannot hit Paris or London. That's why these guys are so, yes, give it to them, give it. We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't know if they're going to give it. I doubt there's. I mean, I'm 90%, 90% no, 10% yes. They will give 10%, 90 no, and probably they will postpone it until the war ends. And before it ends, they have a little ends. Yeah, we're going to give it to you, and the war ends. We're not going to send it now. It's too late. It's useless. That's, I think, is going to happen with the F-16s as well. It's going to be only in the next year when the F-16 is going to land supposedly in Ukraine, which a Russian general said they will not land in Ukraine. They will land probably in Poland or Romania. That's where they're going to take off, not in Ukraine. And if they do that, he said, we're going to hit those targets. Abracadabra, I'm going to reach you and grab you. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Or maybe like Trump's grab by the... See you later.